so long. Dogs can be without a leash.
The dog park? The dog.
I'll get you down.
I wanted to watch your video. But we need 1,000. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, so we are in 360 mode right now, and what I've done is spot metered actually to the sky out over the ocean, which is much brighter than it is here in the cave. But what I'm hoping I can do is then adjust the brightness whenever I move the lens focus over towards me. And then I'm here with my son Danny, and he's going to help us test out the GoPro Max and then also some low light options so we can see what is going to be the best option. So, are you ready?
Yep. Okay,
here we go. GoPro, stop. Okay, so we're starting off our first test here with an ISO max of 400. The white balance is at 4,500 Kelvin, and the color profile is flat. And so we're going to take this and we're going to walk into the cave. Okay, so let's go deep into the cave. Go ahead and get up, Danny boy. So the Max, one thing I noticed, it's much brighter, I think, than the GoPro, normal GoPro Heroes, especially in low light, because we're in a lot of darkness right here. This is all the way to here. Okay, so 360 mode, 24 frames per second, flat color profile, white balance at 4,500, and an ISO max of 400 and 24 frames per second. So let's go, Dave. Let's go down in here.
Okay.
Go ahead and run up there. Let's see if we can still see you in the dark. Go, 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 go.
Okay, I can barely see.
You can barely see?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dark, huh? Okay. Can you see it all?
I can't see. I only see rocks and a little bit of crack.
All right. GoPro, stop. Okay, so now we have an ISO max of 800 in the darkness, 360 mode with a flat color profile and white balance set to 4,500 Kelvin and medium sharpness GoPro Max. GoPro, stop. No, you're good right there. You can come a little closer. Okay, so we're at GoPro Max 360 and we have an ISO max of 1600 with the GoPro color on flat and an sharpness on medium and the white balance at 4,500 Kelvin. GoPro, stop. Okay, so now we're using the GoPro color profile with an ISO max of 1600, white balance still at 4,500 Kelvin, sharpness on medium, GoPro Max in 360 view. In the darkness of this cave, pan around, there's the outside, here's the inside. Stay right there, that's a good spot, Danny. And GoPro, stop. Okay, so now we are in GoPro color with an ISO max of 800 with a white balance set to 4,500 Kelvin and sharpness is on medium. Take a little pan to the outside. Moving back towards Danny boy. GoPro, stop. Okay, we are in GoPro color with a shutter of 1/240 with an ISO max of 400. And then we're going to take it over here.
Can you take it away from me?
And so this is then walking out of the cave from the darkness. And then what we're checking here is about this stabilization. So we're going to do a couple of checks with that to see how well the stabilization holds up. Generally, a faster shutter works better at keeping the stabilization. But the problem is now the camera can't adjust since I've locked the shutter. So as we come to the outside, it gets too bright. But as we come back into the right lighting for this setting, then it works pretty good. Okay, GoPro, stop recording. Okay, so we have a shutter locked at 1/240, but this time we've raised the ISO max to 800. Okay, let's go ahead and walk and see how the stabilization holds up. So just walk in. There's my Danny boy doing the floss. Fortnite boy. But as you see, as we get into this darkness, that higher shutter is going to be a problem. Plus the higher 800 ISO, probably not going to look that great with the grain. The ISO min on this is set to 100. So we're going to do a couple of tests where we lock that ISO to a higher setting if needed, and then we'll use auto for the shutter. We're going to do that now. Okay, so this time we have the ISO min and max set to 800, but our shutter is on auto. So we're going to check out the stabilization and also how well the camera does as far as being able to come into this darkness. And so now it can choose an even longer shutter, which is beneficial. But as far as the ISO, we are still in the 800. So we should be getting a considerable amount more noise. And then as I come out into the brightness, actually one of the problems with the stabilization should be, well, no, actually, then we should get better stabilization, because then we're going to get a faster shutter as we come out here. But now we're getting blown out again because of the ISO max. Okay, so now we have a ISO min and max set to 400 with an auto shutter in GoPro Max 360 mode. And so we'll see how this looks. Now this probably, I would think, is going to be a relatively clean shot. 400 isn't the best, but it's not too bad. And we're in this darkness here. And then with the auto shutter, we'll see if it's able to still maintain some stabilization. And then as we come out of the cave, we'll see if it's able to adjust appropriately for the brightness. And that still seems to be getting pretty bright out there. GoPro stopper. Okay, so now we have a min ISO of 100, max of 400 with an auto shutter on the GoPro Max. And we're gonna come into darkness. Can you go ahead and get up there, buddy, so we can see you? And we're gonna go ahead and turn it around and then come back down. So we'll see how well the stabilization holds up. Plus we can see how well the adjustment is to the brightness outside. Yeah, it still seems to blow it out. And then back in. GoPro stop recording. Okay, Danny, so we are here at
Edgar Vargas.
what?
Edgar Vargas.
Okay, and we're gonna be filming with the
Edgar Vargas.
what?
Edgar Vargas.
Oh, okay. And then we're gonna be testing out the low light inside these, what are these called here?
Edgar Vargas.
Oh, caves, right. So we're at Pismo Beach, and we are going to be checking out the GoPro Max low light settings, best settings. And a big shout out to
Edgar Vargas.
Edgar Vargas. All right, there you go. So right now we are spot metered with the GoPro Max in 360 mode. And so as I turn the camera, the lens that has the spot metering is going to adjust to the brightness of the sky. But at this time, if I were to switch the lens back to me, I should be a lot darker. But if I were to turn the camera around, now I'm in the spot meter, so I should actually have some good brightness now. It should have adjusted by now. But then if we were to pan back around towards the sky and the ocean, that should be very bright, probably overexposed. And so this is one of the options of using spot metering if you're going to be doing like a vlogging style. But it is something that you want to use sparingly, or at least with caution, so that you don't overexpose areas that you want to be able to utilize in your video. So there you go. Now we're going to go ahead and go into this cave here for some low light footage. Okay, this time we have an ISO max of 400, min of 100, but we've spot metered to the lens pointing into the cave. So we're going to come all the way into this darkness here. And we have a flat color profile, and the white balance is set to 4500. And I can see a lot of noise on there. So we'll go ahead, but it's really bright. In fact, it actually looks brighter on this LCD than I can see with my own eyes, which is pretty remarkable. So, okay, we'll go ahead and turn it around. And now that spot meter, we're gonna put it up towards the sky as we come out here. See if we get an adjustment. Okay, so on that last video, what I found out is when you do the spot metering, it also overrides your ISO max. So the ISO max went to 3200 when we came in here. Now we have a max of 200, which is considerably different. And as you can see, as we come in here, it's getting considerably darker. The white balance is still at 4500. The shutter is on auto and the color is on flat.
Yeah, that's my box.
Yeah, and then we'll come back out. She's taking pictures over there, so we'll cut to this side. Let's see. Now the native white balance might be something that you want to use. I personally don't, because I hate trying to color grade it, so I'm not going to be doing any native. But this is now with the GoPro color profile on the GoPro Max in 360. So we'll do a couple of tests with both the flat color profile and the GoPro color profile to see which looks best, and then also testing out the different ISOs. Okay, so this is auto white balance with a flat color profile, ISO max 800. Still roaming around the cave. Check out our balancer. Yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want to do, buddy. And we're gonna go into the darkness here. So this is ISO 800 flat color profile with a with an auto white balance, a medium sharpness, and an auto shutter. Okay, so this is ISO max 400 with a flat color profile and medium sharpness, and also a auto white balance and auto shutter. I'll go into the darkness here.
It's a ghost. Ah, it's a ghost.
It's a ghost, run! And then we'll come back out of the cave. Flat color, ISO max 200.
Flat profile.
Flat color profile, right. And then a shutter of auto with white balance on auto. Okay, so now we are in GoPro color with a max of 1600 ISO, auto color, or auto white balance, GoPro color, auto shutter. Into the darkness we go. So that higher ISO, but we should be getting more noise as we come in here. And we'll come back out. Oh, you okay, buddy?
Yeah. It's
Okay. GoPro Max ISO 800, GoPro color, shutter, auto, white balance, auto. Into the darkness we go.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, 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 ay. Okay, and out of the darkness we go.
Whee.
So things we're looking at is not only noise, but also how well the stabilization holds up when we're using these settings. and then just the overall look. So we'll find that out. GoPro stop recording. ISO Max 400. Everything else is on auto. The sharpness is on medium. And we are going into the cave again, into the darkness. Woo! And right about here is where it gets super, super dark.
Okay.
Okay, come back, come back, come back.
Okay.
And here he comes. When does he come? Show up on the screen.
Zoe.
Still can't see you.
Wait, look, I can't.
You've disappeared. There he is. And coming back out of the cave.
That one is bad at darkness.
Well, the lower the ISO, the less sensitive the sensor is. And so less noise, but less brightness. Okay, so now the ISO max is 100. So we do not expect this to be very bright at all. GoPro color, everything else is auto, sharpness is on medium. We'll see how the stabilization is, plus we'll see how well the picture looks. Now it's already starting to get pretty dark in here. And then once we get to about here, it's nearly impossible to see anything. All right,
Wow.
and then come back. There he comes.
Bad darkness.
And then exiting out. Now we worry about stabilization at this level because the shutter has to go so slow for it. Okay, so we're gonna walk back now. We have an EV of negative 0.5, ISO max of 400, and the color is on flat, white balance is auto.
Wait, we're just filming.
Yeah. Gotta make this jump.
Okay. So close.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the smell.
Almost. Oh! Nice jump!
That one's like 4 feet deep over here.
That one's almost as deep as you are.
This mom was walking by with her little daughter,
Uh-huh.
and she about went like shoulder deep. She's like a 2-year-old. She didn't notice her. She almost went completely
Oh,
under.
jeez.
Is this like quicksand?
I thought it was just a little puddle.
Yeah.
I don't want quicksand. Oh my goodness, it is! That's quicksand! I'm sinking!
Danny, get out of the water.
No.
Come on.
No, look, it is quicksand.
Danny, get out of there.
Oh shoot, my legs are kind of stuck.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your shoes.
Yay! I wish I got the shoes
Those are your favorite shoes.
I know, I wish I got the shoes I did.
No, the shoes that you don't like are the ones your mom just bought you that you need to wear. Huh? Why don't you like them?
Tie my shoes. I just,
Oh, waste time tying shoes.
I just like,
They're nice though, they look good.
I hate you. I just like put them on. I'll just like, okay, there. I put my feet inside and then just all day.
Edgar Vargas.
Edgar Vargas.
GoPro, stop recording.
Edgar Vargas. Edgar Vargas. Edgar Vargas.
What?
Edgar Vargas. All side effects are not going to be Edgar Vargas.
What do you want to eat, Danny?
Edgar Vargas.
I don't know who he's talking about. quicksand.
I should struggle.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wave bye-bye to the camera. Bye-bye.
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 I don't know if you can see me.
Bye-bye.
Can you
Look
see
at
me?
me. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh, airplane.
Like it's flying away. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Smile. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I hate this.
GoPro, stop recording.